to Shakhtar Glory. This is episode 75, and it's the first episode of season 5, I think it is now. It's been a bit of a while since I recorded this series because I've obviously I'm trying to think how this schedule is working. I think this is probably the second week back after the week off, but I got quite a bit ahead because I was away for a week, away with the family, so I tried to get this ahead as much as possible, and so it's been about a week, maybe two, since I've recorded an episode of Shakhtar, so I'm a little bit rusty, but we'll try and get back in as soon as possible. Some of the stuff may be a little bit off my mind a little bit, but I've tried to make as many notes as possible just so I can pick up sort of fairly smoothly. So the last episode was the very end of season 4, and it was the cup final against Kiev. So if we just take a quick scroll back, we'll scroll right down. We did win that 3-0 with Paulinho getting one and Saidu Mohammed getting one and Rodrigo getting one. Fairly dominant performance, really. I didn't really remember the match to know how easy it was, but judging by the scoreline, I'm guessing it was, and we are pretty dominant domestically. So I would say that's a given, really. But we are back here today with Kiev again. I think possibly, it was obviously going to be them. They finished second in the league and they were runners-up in the cup. So it was always going to be them. Last game of last season, the first game of this one. But hopefully we'll have a look and maybe see what they've done in the summer. See if they've done anything, maybe changed the manager again or done something. I'm not too sure. A little bit of news. We've got some transfer business to go through again. We'll do that shortly. We'll head to the Sky Sports News Centre. But we did have the on and off stuff last year with the FFP. I touched on it in a few episodes, and we scraped by the skin of our teeth. I can only assume getting to the final did that. I think we had to make no more of a loss or profit or something of 4.4 million, and we hit 4.1, something like that. So we, real skin of the teeth job to pass. Obviously, if we'd have failed that, we wouldn't have been in Europe this season, and this season would have been pretty much a write-off. I'd like to just try and plough through it or something. But yeah, so I assume that the prize money helps us out. I think the board pumped a little bit of money in, but we have tried to, and we still are, obviously the transfer window is still open. We are trying to bring a few new faces in, but we are trying to get rid of maybe some that don't fit the system, or maybe try and get some money in where we can. So we'll go through the transfers shortly. In league news, the league dropped one place to 10th, but Shakhtar, that's in the league rankings, the coefficient, but the club as a whole moved up 4 places. We're now 12th. With the league drop, we do lose, I don't think we lose a place, but we have to go in an early round qualifying, I think. So instead of going in at the third qualifying phase, we go in at the second qualifying phase. I think that's for the other clubs. We, as winners of the league, go straight into the group of Champions League. That's fine. If it has a bearing on the pot of the seeds we're in, I don't know. It could do, but I'm hoping us jumping up 4 places will cement that again. Obviously, we've got a good run of form in the last couple of seasons. We got to the final last season, and I think it's semi and a quarter before that, maybe even 2 semi-finals. So we are sort of doing our bit, if you like. It's just whether the rest of the league can help us out as well. We did have a tour of China, and then we did a little bit of a tour of the USA. One of the games got cancelled because the Charity Shield got scheduled, but we beat New York City FC 3-0, and we beat Atlanta 4-0. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump to the transfers. Now, I don't have these written down. I've just got a note saying do the transfers in and out. So we're going to cut away now to the news centre. Now, that was probably a slightly more easier transition for you. That took a few minutes on my computer for some reason. I'm not too sure why. So you can probably have a look. You're probably seeing now some of the stuff that's gone on. We've got a lot of loans gone out. We'll do the outs first of all before I can look at the ins, because the ins you won't really have a clue about, but some of the names will be familiar for the outs. Kuma Babakar, we sold him to Watford. We didn't get anywhere near as much as I would have liked, but he was a big salary for us. He had a good first season, but not amazing. I would have loved to have kept him. It's not unknown, my love for Kuma Babakar on Football Manager. Going back to Football Manager 11, I've mentioned it many times. He's got a good international record as well for Senegal. I don't think he was in the squad for the World Cup that's just passed. Certainly didn't notice him anyway, but he had one season, 5 goals in 7 appearances. Probably should have played more, but he was a bit of a victim. He played more of the Champions League games, I'd say. Certainly the group stages. But we signed him for 12.5, and a year later we've made sort of 7.5 profit on him. So it works out in a way. We tried to get a bit more for him, but it wasn't happening. He's 28 years old. I felt we could maybe get a few more in or promote from within, certainly in that scenario. We then also sold Viseu. A little bit of a heavy heart with this one, but he's 24. He's still got them 7 goals in 4 games for Brazil. Hasn't really played for a while. He doesn't really fit the mould of the sort of player we're looking for in any of the new systems we play. So that's kind of the reason a lot of the transfers have happened. Hoffenheim will be a bit of a running theme in this transfer bit. So he's had a good 1, 2, 3, 4 years with us. He did pretty well. We always sort of scored in big games for us, but we signed him for 2 million. We sold him for 11.25. Again, he's not done too badly, but I felt we could get better in, or that we had better in the club that we could maybe promote within. I haven't completely sorted the first team for this season, but he certainly wasn't one I was thinking of hanging around. This was a tough one. Again, Hoffenheim, but it's Barakier. He has left for Hoffenheim again. Again, 28 years old. He's got a good international record for Ghana. Great scoring record for us, but again, he just didn't really get into our team, so it was a tough one. This one. But we have 8 million for him. We paid 1.5 a couple of years ago. I think it was season 1. It was season 1. He did okay that first season. He didn't play too much. But in that second season, 22 out of 20. And every game season after that, he's done really well. But 28 years old, we had to cash in on him while we could. He's gone to Hoffenheim. I don't know if they're in the Champions League this year. How did they do? No, so they're not going to be coming against us in Europe this year. So it doesn't look like, so not to worry. But they may fire him into the European spots next season. So that's something to keep an eye out, certainly, for. We are going to... This is really annoying me. Butko has finally left. He goes for 5.5 million, raising to 7.75 with a few add-ons to Torino. 30 years old. Again, he was okay. He seems to play well, above probably what his attributes demonstrate, but I felt we had better sitting in the club, and I will go through the squad shortly. He's been here since the start of my sort of tenure here. He's originally a Shakhtar player. He did leave, came back, and as you can see, he's always done really well, particularly on the assist side. He's done pretty well, but we had to sell him. 30 years old. We had better options, I think. So yeah, it's an obvious one. And the last one that involves any sort of money in is Sebastian Merino. Now, he is a wonder kid, but I just don't think he sits as being ready for our team. Now, I wanted to try and get him somewhere in the league, try and get his national status registered. Juventus coming from him. I think Udinese coming from last year as well. No, Inter. He's been to Lazio, he's been to Inter. Hasn't set the world on fire. He is a wonder kid though, so I'm hoping he will come good. If not, we'll look at potentially sort of cashing in on him down the line. But he's got all the necessary sort of stuff there to make it. Plays in a couple of roles I do like, so yeah, there's a possibility there he maybe next season will come in. So now, in terms of the loans out, I think we can maybe recall some of these if we need them. The main ones there really. Seydou Kone has gone out again, young Ivorian from ASEC, coming along okay. Not sure he will make it. Giving him one more season on loan to see what he can do. That goes for Kadir. Kolod, we've sent him out on loan again. I was considering keeping him around. He had a good season last season at Zerka. Two decent seasons at Zerka really. I want to give him one more season just to really get a lot of first team football. He's still young enough that he needs that first team football. We've got Nikishkin's gone out on loan again. Yo Yao. He was one I was looking at as right back replacement. We've brought someone else up, but we're giving him a chance. I think he would be one we sell, although he could be the better one of the three right backs we do have. So next year he could come back and forge his way in if he has a good season with Udinese, certainly. We've loaned out Cochavallo again. No one wants him. He's on a free pretty much, I think, but no one wants him. And Sego has gone out again to Karpati again. I think he had a decent season last. No, he didn't. We're looking for him to have a good season. I think I've had him on my Arsenal save. It was offline, and he did really well. He hasn't kicked on here, maybe as I would have liked, but there's time. In terms of the ins, there's one big one there. You can see Elias Petrak. He's another wonder kid. He wasn't when I signed him, I don't think, but he looks phenomenal. In fact, there's a few ongoing transfers I think that haven't gone through yet, and this guy pretty much fills the void. You can probably guess who that is. We'll have a look at the squad. So it must be on the way of Verge going through, or certainly trying to go through. But yeah, he is fantastic. So we signed him from Standard Liège. He had a good season last year. He hasn't got the goals or a lot of assists. We'll be looking to add that to his game, but he looks absolutely fantastic. We've paid, what did we pay for him? 13.5. He's up to 14.5 already. He's played a couple of friendlies. Vital player this year. We've got Hurtado in the middle, and we've got Hagen in the middle. Three very young centre midfielders, all very similar. Second one is Yaroslav Shrom, another midfielder. He's 18 years old. We're trying to loan him out. Again, he looks like he could be quite good. He plays a lot of good roles, that we use. The roaming playmaker one in particular, I'm interested in. We signed him from Victoria Plitzen. He had a good season last year. Got a lot of rave reviews with my scouts, so we thought we'd take a punt on him. This was while the financial stuff was going on as well, that I wasn't sure if we were going to pass financial fair play. But I'm hoping some of these transfers that we've done out, we're certainly net profit, this season. We've still got a bit more room to manoeuvre if we need to, but we've also got a few more outs on the agenda, so I think we'll be topping that money back up. There's another new winger. He's on the verge of going back out on loan. He is mostly South African clubs. We've just signed him. Well, there's a few Ukrainian clubs in there, so if we can get them bidding on him, that would be perfect. I'd rather that. But he looks quite decent. It's only cost me 425k. He can play as that winger. He's got some good attributes, so a little bit there to work on, but 18 years old, one cap already. I think he could be an exciting player for the future, or if not, we can at least, he's already worth, what's that, 2 maybe 3 times more that we paid for him, 2.5 maybe. If we sell him, we'll make some money on him. That's kind of where we're at as well. We're kind of trying to buy players that we can bring in to get into the first team, but also just to make us money down the line. It's the best way of us making money, really. We're not going to make money domestically. A lot of our money comes from prize money. We've got a fairly rich chairman, so if we can top up anything else by just bit of the Chelsea model, bringing all these players in, loaning them out a few years, boosting them up, trying to get them maybe some EU citizenship, off they go. And then the final one is Campino. I think this was another. I thought he was a wonder kid, but he's not. Again, we're trying to loan him out. He comes in from Maritimo's advanced forward. I quite like the look of this guy. I don't know. I think he got a glowing report from a scout again. That doesn't seem to suggest it, but there was obviously something there I liked when I saw it, and he was quite cheap. He's already worth, again, a lot more than what we paid for him. He's worth like sort of double and a half, something like that, than what we paid for him. A few bits to work on, but if we can get him loaned out, he's 18 years old out. If we can get him sort of playing 20-25 games this season, I think that'll be ideal. If we can do that in Ukraine, even better. No one wants him at the moment, so that leaves the squad looking like still quite rather large. So we haven't been able to replace the goalkeeper yet. There's still a position I'm looking to try and fill. I think we have got a couple of deals in the pipeline, but I'll bring them as they come, so that in the coming episodes, or probably the next episode, because the next episode will probably be the next Champions League game, which is quite a way away. I think it's in August or September, so will be the draw, maybe the draw and whatever game is around that, and then the group stage. So hopefully the window will be shut by then. We can bring you sort of what's coming in. So in terms of, let's have a look. So the right back we brought up is Yao da Silva. Unsurprisingly, whenever he stepped up, he was fantastic. He's 18 years old. He's trained at the club. He's come through the youth system. Had a good season at Lichevets on loan last season. I think he was ready for the step up. Fantastic little player. He can play both wing back and full back as a wing back, but both stratas of the position. Who else have we brought up? There's a few that are up that could still leave on loan. I'm not too sure really who yet. Mateus Fernandez is out for a couple of months, I think. I might have dropped a few of them to the youth team. So a few of these are wanted and up for loans. Kovalenko is wanted, and if I can get the money for him, I may take him. Napoli wants him, but they only want him on loan. I don't think I need to. He's a homegrown player. We've sold a few. I've lost a few of those, I think. So we'll see how that goes. But we're trying to get rid of Lincoln. He's on the possible to go. I think Rodrigo is a possibility to go. He's wanted by some big clubs. He's kicked up a bit of a fuss. He is trained at the club now, which is a bit annoying. But again, he's got a few attributes that don't really fit what we're trying to do. Determination, teamwork, work rate being the key ones. It doesn't seem to, I seem to remember, yeah, work rate 11, teamwork 10, determination 8. I mean, he's still a wonder kid. He is transfer listed just to try and drop some interest, but Milan came in for him. Can't get the sort of money we want, but if we can get a bit more decent money for him, he will certainly be on his way out. We've got Sadio Mohammed. He's wanted. I think he's still listed for loan. He is, but we will probably keep hold of him this season. He was fantastic at the end of last season. And we've got a few over here, but you can see a lot of trained at club and trained in nations now in the first team. I don't know if he's going to be. There's a few here that probably still will be. Tello, I think, could be. Valadares, probably going to try and loan him out if I can, but he's a wonder kid as well, so maybe he will hang around. We're going to gradually phase the old guard of the defence out, I think, at some point. We've got Solis here. He's back from his loan. I think he's wanted again. Yeah, Napoli, Dortmund, Milan. But we're trying to keep hold of him, I think, this season. He's fantastic. He went to Dortmund on loan last season. Matasan. Yeah, most of these are available for loan. Certainly a lot of them. So this team will peter down. I did say I wanted this squad to be down sort of quite a bit, maybe to maximum sort of 2 players per position. If we go to the under-21s, you can see there's a few players that are listed as well. I'm trying to get rid of a few of these. Leo Santos, I think, is possibly on the verge of going. So we want him on loan, but we are trying to sell him. Again, he's not quite... He looks okay, but he's not quite hitting the heights and some of the attributes that we want. And I think we've got better now. Chainer, I think he's just trying to go out for loan. Tipo Paz the same. Sumahero, he may step up. I think I might have listed him actually now. I think no, he's for loan. Milan want him, so he's obviously doing something right. But if we go down here, Fred is here. 28. We've got a couple of deals in for him. Milan, Napoli. These are negotiated deals. That's the best we could get, was 18.5. Unless Atletico Madrid come in with an amazing offer, it looks like he'll be going to one of those. And assuming he goes, but he keeps kicking up saying he wants to leave. I think we've got some young, equally as good options. He does offer a lot. He's a good player. He's a flair player. But he doesn't offer the goals and assists that we want. I think if we can get someone in there that can do that, that's what we're looking at. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on the video, drop a sub to the channel. While you're there, drop a comment as well. Anything you want to see, anything you want me to take a look at specific that maybe doesn't show up in the course of the actual episodes of the series, let me know. On Twitter as well, or I can do the same. Just let me know. Until next time for the KIOTA Gaming. Until next time, see you later.